Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good
Yes,
morning,
Yes,
sir.
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 Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. That means I am audible. Now just let me share my screen. I was waiting. Most of you have joined now, so no problem. My screen is visible.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Which page you can see?
49.
Okay. Good. Very good. Okay. So now I will come back to this discussion which we are doing last week, that we are trying to discuss the association of the qualitative characteristics, or what we are calling as a categorical variable also. Then the resulting data may be summarized as a 2 cross 2 table like ABCD, and these are the cell frequencies which we have already discussed. Now the idea here is that initially, because we don't have any idea or any data to prove that whether any two attributes are dependent or independent, so it is easy to assume that there is no dependence. That means they are independent. So in that case, there is no need to get any data to prove independence or dependence. If there is a dependence, it will be proved. If there is independence, it will also be proved. So how actually you are going to test this hypothesis? So we make an assumption. This is what we have discussed, the null hypothesis, that the two attributes under study are independent, against the alternative that the two attributes under study are not independent, or in the other words, they are dependent. Then how we are going to test this? For that, we have seen, very quickly I am going, this concept of a test statistic, right? The overall deviation of the observed cell frequency denoted by Oij from the expected one is measured by the quantity chi-square double summation this quantity. Now, if you remember last week, I was telling you, rather I have instructed you that please look at the table of chi-square in any book of statistics. So have you seen that? How many of you have seen that? Have you seen the chi-square table? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, at least one or two. So could you find that table, and what I was explaining you, could you get the column of degrees of freedom and the level of significance or something like that?
Yes, sir. There were tables, like there were columns regarding that things.
Okay, so you can see the tabulated value from the table for a given value of the level of significance and the degrees of freedom. Now the concept of degrees of freedom I have already given you in the last week, but now I would like to little bit tell you about the concept of alpha, or the level of significance for which you have to see. So mostly, of course, you will study all these things next semester also in detail, but the degrees of freedom is calculated by the number of rows and the number of columns, like 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1. Because it is a 2 cross 2 table, so that is just 1 into 1, so it is 1 degrees of freedom. Now, the level of significance, which is generally denoted by alpha, that is why I asked whether you have seen this table or not. Now, alpha is the probability of rejecting H naught when H naught is true. This is your null hypothesis. But it may happen that you may reject a hypothesis when actually it is true based on your data, because the evidence in the data says that the hypothesis is to be rejected. That is called an error, and that is called a type 1 error. Of course, I will not go into the much of the details, but just in one line, because you are already studying probability. So it is not that always we are going to take a wrong decision. Sometimes you may have a correct decision. That means you may accept your hypothesis when actually it is true. In that case, there is no error. But because of the data, it may happen sometime that you may reject a hypothesis which is actually true. Now that probability is prefixed either at 1% or 5% at the most. At first year level, I can tell only this much. Later on, when we discuss next year, we will go into the much of the detail. So what we have to do now? we have to go back again to the chi-square table, and in the chi-square table we have to see the value of alpha 1%, 5%, 10%. So many values are given there. That is why I had asked you, and just now I am also asking that have you seen the table? Because if you have seen the table, only then you will be able to understand that what I am talking. So anyways, alpha is fixed either at 1% or 5%. White is fixed, white is not any other value, that we will just discuss later on. At first year, first semester level, it is just enough to say that we don't want, because this is actually the probability of error. So we don't want much error. And if I say it is 1%, 1% can be written as 1 upon 100. So that is the probability of what? That is the probability of rejecting H0 when H0 is true is 1 upon 100. Now how are you going to interpret? That means, sir, out of 100 times, only one time I will commit this type of mistake. So 99 times I am correct. That is the whole story behind taking alpha is equal to 1%. And the other value, most popular value which is chosen is that alpha is equal to 5%. Again, 5% can be expressed as 5 upon 100. The interpretation remains the same, that we are going to commit the error 5 times out of 100 times. The natural question will be, sir, if I can take 1%, why we are going for 5%? If I am 99 times correct, then why do you want that 95 times you want to be correct? The answer to this question at the moment is that level of significance decides your sample size. And if your level of significance, or what I am talking at as alpha, is very small, your n has to be large. And in real life situations, sometimes the sample size cannot be taken large for many reasons. But I'll give you a simple example. Suppose I say you conduct a survey in Vadodara city, 25 lakh people are there. Of course, we are not going to cover 25 lakh people, but suppose somebody says that, okay, take a sample of 50,000. Now, in order to cover 50,000 people of this city even, traveling from Waghodia to Gotri will take time. Not only time, it will cost money also. And we will have to involve certain investigators also. So we have to pay for them. So that is the money. So sometimes there are so many restrictions in the real life. Okay, instead of 50,000, suppose I take a sample of 5,000. Okay. So there are certain things which are connected very much. And I can say again, in first year, first semester, so many things are not possible to be discussed because that require a lot of background. So we have to just understand, for our present understanding, that alpha is either 1% or alpha is equal to 5%. That is all. So with this understanding that either alpha is 1% or alpha is 5%, again we will go back to the chi-square table, which I had asked you to refer last week. If only one or two students have said, I will request to all of you, please see the table, right? So it's not a big deal. It's very easy that you have to just, if you can see, you have seen the log table, then it is very easy to see this chi-square table or any other table, statistical table, which we are going to discuss later on. So why we are discussing this? Sir, because as per the rule of thumb, how we are going to decide whether H0 is correct or H1 is correct? So as I said, there is a rule of thumb which says that if the calculated value is less than the tabulated value, we will accept our H0. However, if the calculated value is greater than the tabulated value, we will reject our H0. So sir, how we are going to get these two values? Answer is very clear. Calculated value will come from this formula. Immediately I am going to take a small numerical. Tabulated value will come from the table. Now these are two values, any two numerical values. Of course, you can say that there is a very remote possibility that the calculated value will be equal to tabulated value. Out of million or billion times it may happen. Otherwise, it is not going to happen. Why? Because this is prefixed for a given sample size and level of significance, but this will keep on changing depending upon the data. So there is a very rare chance that calculated value will be equal to tabulated value. Even then somebody may ask, sir, if suppose even in a billion or a million chance it happens, then what is the decision? Then we say that you toss a coin. That means we randomize the decision, and then you make a rule first that if head comes, we will accept H0. If tail comes, we will accept H1. That is called a randomization of a test. All these things are little bit higher at the first level, but I am telling you, you can understand it is not that difficult also. So for our understanding, we assume that the calculated value either is less than or greater than. Depending upon that, we will decide whether these two attributes under study are independent or dependent. So keeping this in mind, let us consider a very simple numerical example. This is just to illustrate. We will do practicals, many more practical. Suppose you want to study, any researcher want to study the relationship between gender and owning a cell phone. Now this is a qualitative characteristic. If you are a male, it's a quality. If you are a female, it's a quality. If you have a phone or don't own a phone, we treat it as a quality. It's not a quality in the strict sense. It is a kind of habit. The habit is also, in a loose sense, it is also an attribute. If you are smoking, is a habit, but that is an attribute. It's not a quality. So suppose you take a sample of 2000 adults and we got the information like this. Suppose there are 640 men who have a cell phone, and out of this 2000, 450 men do not have the cell phone. Similarly, 440 women have the cell phone and 470 women do not have the cell phone. This is just a hypothetical data to illustrate all this computation and to illustrate how this hypothesis is tested. Okay, so this is just for our understanding again. This is just like your 2 by 2 contingency table, and in that 2 by 2 contingency table, the values which are written here, like 640, this is called observed frequency. Observed frequency means this is OIJ, or this is the IJ means this is the first row, first column. That means this is the number O11. Similarly, this is say O12, this is O21 and O22. This is what actually I was trying to tell you here, like OIJ, EIJ, and all those things. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll tell. Don't worry. Suppose this is just a table. So now in that case, what we are saying that this is suppose the observed frequency. This is also observed frequency. So in that case, how the calculations will go? So the calculations will go like this. First of all, what is the hypothesis which you want to test? You want to test whether the gender and owning a cell phone are independent. As we have said in general, that any two attributes under study are independent. And not alternative is that gender and owning the cell phones are not independent. That means they are dependent. Next question will be if they are dependent, how much they are dependent, that we'll discuss later. Now, what is EIJ? Just we have written here in this formula. EIJ. What is EIJ? And just above this, last week I had stopped here only. That how do you calculate EIJ? Now suppose I is 1, J is 1. So it becomes E11. So that is the sum of the first row, sum of the first column divided by n. Let us see the simple calculation which you can do even on your calculators. What is E11? Sir, E11 is the sum of the first row, which is 1090 for this data, and sum of the first column, which is 1080 for this data. So this is the arrow which you can see. E11 is just 1090 into 1080 divided by capital N, which is 588.6. So this how we are going to calculate chi-square? Chi-square will be 640 minus 588.6 square divided by 588.6. Right? Now can anybody tell me what will be the next value? Is this calculation clear to all of you? First of all, the calculation which I have shown
Yes,
you. Okay, so then just please help
Yes,
me,
sir.
anyone. Very good. Anyone can tell me the what is the next value? E12. Can anybody tell me? you have calculator, or maybe I don't know whether if you are attending this lecture on phone, you cannot go to mobile calculator. But okay, you can tell me that what to multiply and what to divisor is always fixed. How I am going to get E12? What should I multiply?
So first row and second column.
Yeah, everything is there. Now you tell me the number. That is theory which you are telling.
Sir, E12 is equal to 501.4.
Okay. How did you get it?
Sir, first row and second column
Again, you tell me the number.
upon n
Huh?
1090 into
Huh.
920 upon 2000.
Correct. See, if you look at carefully, I have already given you all the answers where my cursor is moving. This is what 501.4, whatever the student whosoever she is telling, is the correct answer. And this is what I have left you as a very small homework. This is just 1 minute or 2 minutes of the practical. So all the values, if you look at the parenthesis value, I have already given. 588.6 is here. 501 you have calculated 1090 into 920 divided by 2000 will give you this value. Similarly, the other remaining two values you can calculate. Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what is this? If you look at this cell, which I am calling this as a cell, this is observed frequency, so I'll call it as O11. This is the expected frequency, so I will call it E11. This is O12, this is E12, this is O21, this is E21, this is O22, this is E22. That's all, finished. So you have to just, out of four, two values I have already given here. Rest of the two, if you calculate, simple calculation, you will get the value of chi-square. Again, now I can put a word here, calculated. Why? Because actually you are calculating it, and hence the name calculated. Right? So now I hope it is clear. Just a minute. एक मिनट चालू रखना. आई विल बी बैक एंड जस्ट ऑन एन इम्पॉर्टेंट कॉल. प्लीज रिमेन इन द क्लास, है ना. मैं एक इम्पॉर्टेंट कॉल अटेंड कर रहा हूँ. मैं आपसे वापस 2 मिनट में बात करता हूँ.
ओके सर.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
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 sir.
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 Okay. I am audible now. That is clear, and my screen is already there, na?
No, sir.
Okay. अच्छा, screen
Sir.
has gone. Huh? I knew that was a problem. Actually, I was learning something. I wanted to see all of you on my screen. So that is what I was trying to learn. एक्चुअली अभी क्या होता है, जैसे आपके सिर्फ लेटर्स आते हैं, मान लो JSAAPU, एंड सपोज आई वांट टू सी ऑल ऑफ यू ऑन माय स्क्रीन. तो इसीलिए इस चालू क्लास में मैंने इस चीज़ को समझने की कोशिश किया, how I can observe all of you. If I want to see all of you, and suppose I say some 3-4 students can on your camera, I was just trying to understand that part. Okay, no problem. Just a minute. So that option भी तो दिख नहीं रहा है. Let us not waste time.
सर हो गए क्या?
Now you can see my screen.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So fine. I was here. I was just trying to show you all these calculations, that how these values have come. And now if you calculate, as I was telling you, that this is because we have calculated all these values, so the name is calculated. And as I was telling you just before 5 minutes, this is some value, say 21.445. Now what next? Next is that you have to go to the table, and again I will request all of you that please see the table. If you have seen, it's very good. If you have not seen, आज ही देखिएगा टेबल को. So how you will go ahead? Now see, this is the way of writing. I will explain this notation. This is written as chi-square 1 semicolon 5%. It means that this is the value of chi-square tabulated value at 1 degrees of freedom at 5% level of significance. So we are not writing that lengthy sentence. What is your, see, actually this is the value of chi-square with 1 degrees of freedom at 5% level of significance, but we are writing in notation. How do you write chi-square 1 semicolon 5%, and this is 3.841. Now the question is that how did you get it? Sir, it is not from my pocket or your pocket, it is from the table. So now you can understand that one value, as I was telling you, is a calculated value. Another value is that the tabulated value. What is the rule of thumb? Rule of thumb is if calculated is less than tabulated, we will accept. But here in this example, calculated is greater than tabulated. Therefore, it implies that we reject H naught, and it is very important to write the level, because again I will request, if you see the table, at 5% value is different, at 1% the value is different. It is not the same value. So you please mention that if you are rejecting your null hypothesis, at which percent, at which level you are rejecting. That is what I have already mentioned, that this is rejected at 5% level of significance. And what is the level of significance in one line? Level of significance is the probability of type 1 error, या probability of rejecting H naught when H naught is true. So this is all statistical or mathematical kind of a statement. What is the conclusion as a researcher? This is what you have to write everywhere in conclusion, just 2 lines. What is the conclusion? Because as we have made the rule and hypothesis was gender and owning the cell phone are independent, and this is rejected, that means they are not independent. In other words, that means they are dependent. So what will be your conclusion? There is a strong evidence, of course, from the sample that the two characteristics, namely the gender and owning a cell phone, are related for adults. Only this much. But then, of course, there will be a natural question in your mind, if they are related, how much they are related. It is just like if you say that height and weight are correlated, definitely you are interested in knowing that what is the extent of relationship. So there must be some measure of association. And remember, this was the heading of this part of Unit 2, Measures of Association. You are trying to measure the association. Before measuring the association, ensure that there is an association, because if they are independent, story ends there itself. So I hope I am clear, you are getting what I am trying to say. Now before I proceed, any doubt to anyone up to this point? किसी को कुछ पूछना है? No questions? Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, okay, no problem. Then I can move on to, as I told you that up to this point, what is our conclusion? That there is a strong evidence that the two characteristics are related. Now we are going to use a very small measure, what we call as phi. Phi you must have seen in mathematics also. Phi is used for what? Can anybody tell me? Phi notation mathematics में कहाँ use होता है?
So null factor हुआ.
Right. For a null set. This is just phi is used. Phi is just like a zero with a slash. So that is just one in mathematics. That is idea is different. In statistics, the idea is different. What is phi? In one line, phi is a chi-squared based measure. Remember that heading last week. We are discussing chi-square based measures. So what is chi-square? Now we know. We will calculate the chi-square like we have calculated here. And if they are independent, again I am saying it is a full stop. Analysis ends here itself. No need to proceed further. But if there is an association, how we are going to measure? So phi is used for that. Phi is a chi-square based measure of association. The size of chi-square coefficient depends on the strength of relationship and the size, sample size. Strength of relationship is just denoted by chi-square. So phi eliminates sample size by dividing chi-square. Sorry, eliminates नहीं, phi estimates है यहाँ पे. I'm sorry. Phi is denoted by chi-square by n. So what is phi? This is the formula which you have to keep in your mind. Chi-square you have already calculated. Say for this, in this example only, you want to know that, sir, what is the extent of association? Okay. So what will be that in this example? Sir, chi-square is 21.445 divided by 2000 and the square root, whatever value you get. It is generally used. What is the limitation of chi-square? It is very easy, very quick, no need of further calculation, because in order to see whether they are dependent or independent, first of all you have to calculate chi-square only. After getting chi-square, there is no other step of calculation, just a square root. But the limitation of this phi is that it is generally used for 2 cross 2 table and a nominal variable. It is not recommended for higher order tables. Now, if you remember, I have already discussed it so many times that of course we are dealing here with a bivariate kind of a thing or a 2 cross 2 contingency, but that is not always necessary that you have only 2 rows and 2 columns. You can have only 2 rows, but you can have say 5 columns, or you can have say 3 rows and you can have say 7 columns in general. So is it that we are having a kind of restriction or a kind of limitation that we can talk only about the attributes which are classified into 2 categories and so on and so forth? No. So we'll discuss that also in a very light manner, not going into much of the details. But you should understand that why we are going from phi to some other measure, which is again chi-square based. So it is a comment. What is the comment? Phi, which we have discussed here, is generally used for the 2 cross 2 table and a nominal variable. It is not recommended for higher order table. That means if you have a higher order table, don't calculate phi, because in that case the trouble is that sometimes its value may exceed 1, which is not desirable. Because any measure of association, let me ask you the other question. Say what is the range of probability? Probability की maximum value क्या हो सकती है?
0 to 1.
0 to 1.
1.
Right. Why it
0
cannot
to
exceed?
1.
ठीक है, बिल्कुल सही जवाब है आप सबका. वो 1 से ज्यादा क्यों नहीं हो सकती? Why probability cannot be more than 1? Can anybody answer?
चांस वन ही रहता है, मतलब अगर होगा तो होगा ही, अब ऐसे उससे ज्यादा तो क्या होगा, लाइक दैट.
Hmm. Correct. I think this is more logical in the sense that in a very simple manner, how do you define probability? Probability of any event is m by n. M is the number of favorable cases and n is the total number of cases. और ये रेशियो 1 से बड़ा कब होगा? जब फेवरेबल केसेस टोटल से 1 बड़े हो जाएं. M is greater than n, which is simply not possible. So probability cannot exceed 1. There is no meaning of saying that the probability of any event is 1.2. Meaningless. Same way, if there is any coefficient should not exceed 1. You will not be able to define, or okay, you will define, you will be able to calculate, आप उसको interpret नहीं कर पाएंगे. If I say that the association between having a mobile phone with a gender is 1.2, means what? It is a kind of nonsense. Just a minute. हाँ. कोई नहीं था. Okay, so that is what I am telling, that it is, you cannot have value exceeding 1. It is not desirable because of, say, not desirable is one thing, actually it is not possible. But mathematically, if you do it for more than 2 by 2 table, it may exceed for some data. So how to handle that? So therefore, we define, or a new thing we propose, like contingency coefficient. One day when we started all these discussion, we had discussed the idea of 2 by 2 contingency table, and some of you answered also that what is contingency, like a future event or something which is going to happen or something like that. Now, actually, when you collect the data, just by looking at the data, you cannot have any idea. Just suppose I go back to this simple example again, that this is 640, 450, 440, 470. You don't know what is hidden inside. Hidden inside means that you don't know that is there any association between gender and having a mobile phone. How we will come to know? So that is something for future, that we are going to calculate certain values and we are going to apply certain formula, and after that we are going to see whether is there any association or not. So in that sense, it is called contingency. Now, as I was telling you just now also, that it is not necessary that the classification is always 2 by 2. Now I can say here at this point of time, the classification can be R cross C. R cross C means there are R rows and C columns in general. So if, as you have seen, chi-square is here, we have talked about phi. If you look at the syllabus, there are so many things. Phi hai, coefficient of contingency hai, Cramer V hai. Of course, there can be a natural question in the mind. Sir, we have already established chi-square. We have already calculated the value of phi. Then why next values are required? So this is the answer, that if you have a table which is not 2 cross 2, so it is not recommended. So what will happen, sir? In that case, we proceed further. And what we are talking, look at the first line. The contingency coefficient is also the nominal association. Now, this is the word which I have used several times. Nominal means what? Nominal means it is having just a identity. It has no order, no origin, no distance. It is just like, say, your mobile number, your bank account number, your vehicle number, whatever, is just a nominal association which is based on adjusted chi-square. Now, when it is used, and what do you mean by adjusted chi-square? So first of all, try to understand that what is the need. As I was telling you, if you look at your syllabus, you will find all these values. association of measures and all those, value of phi, value of chi-square, and contingency coefficient. So read the next line. This coefficient is used when the table is greater than 2 cross 2. So this is the answer. If I'm having a data which is classified in more than 2 by 2 table, and it is generally recommended that if you have more than 5 cross 5 table, that means if you have a huge classification, let me tell you, suppose you are talking about the education level and your salary. Now, as I told you, education you can start from say 10th level. A person who is 10th pass, what kind of job he is going to get? If you are 12th pass, if you are graduate, if you are a postgraduate, if you are a doctorate, or even after the doctorate, there are certain higher order degrees. And income level can be any. You are earning say 25,000, you are earning 50,000, you are earning maybe 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, or something like that. So you want to understand that if your education is more, are you going to earn more? Except few cases. Otherwise, it's a purely psychological educational problem, that whether your level of education has something to do with your earning. So, and let me tell you, this is what I have told you, I think several times, even right from my first lectures, that the data in the real life situation will come on its own. It will not come by your choice. So anyways, I'll take a very small example for you to illustrate. So it is generally recommended for more than 5 by 5, but if it is up to 5 by 5 also, it will work. So this coefficient performs better. It is generally denoted by C. I will just join in a minute. Okay, so this is the whole idea, that why you already have one measure, then you go to the next measure. They are very small topics, but now suppose this is the formula. It is given by chi-square upon chi-square plus n chi-square root. Now, if you see all these measures, whether it is phi or contingency coefficient, and the next one Cramer's V or whatever we'll discuss, all of them are based on chi-square. How chi-square is calculated? Let me remind you, this formula remains the same. Please keep this formula in your mind. It will help you in practical also. Say Oij minus Eij square upon Eij. Suppose there are 3 rows, so it will go from I is equal to 1 to 3. Suppose there are 5 columns, so it will go j is equal to 1 to 5. And it will be 3 minus 1 into 5 minus 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2, 5 minus 1 is 4. So 2 into 4, that means the degrees of freedom will be 8. So what you will do? Again, I recommend, not recommend, I should order you. Please see the chi-square table. So in the chi-square table, again, you will have all these values, degrees of freedom, level of significance, which I have already told you. You prefix at 1% or 5% and you will get the table value. Of course, the calculated value you will have to calculate, and you may be doing some practicals also on this. So what is the idea, or what is the message? The message is something like this. It is generally calculated or recommended for more than 5 cross 5 tables. This coefficient performs better. If it is denoted by C, then it is given by under root of chi-square upon chi-square plus n. N is the sample size. It does not range between 0 to 1. It can take value 0 only when chi-square is 0, which is never possible. It can never reach 1. Because you see, if it is something like chi-square divided by chi-square plus n, so this ratio will always be less than 1. If this ratio is less than 1, how its square root will be 1? So of course we can calculate, everything is possible, but this is a drawback. So phi had a problem that it is exceeding 1. this has a problem that it is not exactly lying between 0 to 1, even if there is a perfect association chi-square, but divided by chi-square plus n, this ratio is always going to be less than 1. Otherwise, you see, what was the idea? If r is 1 or plus or minus, you say that the correlation is perfect. So can we say that the same way the association is perfect? But you will never get c is equal to 1. So of course, that is not a major drawback. You have to keep in our mind that how to interpret them carefully. So we have phi, which is a chi-squared base measured. We have contingency coefficient, which is again a chi-squared based measure. How do we go ahead? Now this is all these measures, whatever you have seen here, phi and contingency coefficient, they work. I am not saying that they don't work, but they suffer from one drawback or the other. So there is a third one, which was proposed by Kramer. So it is known as Kramer's V. So it is why it is so popular. Kramer's V is the most popular nominal association that is used again for a 2 by 2 table. Why? Because its value lies between 0 and 1. Because for the interpretation purposes, I should not have anything as you told, sir, probability, how it can be 1.2, or the probability or any coefficient of association or relationship, it should not exceed 1. The idea is that there is no meaningful interpretation. And let me tell you, whatever calculation, whatever analysis, whatever data you are using, and you are coming out with certain thing, ultimately you have to interpret. You have to say something to the policy planner, or not always policy planner. You have to make certain statements. Say, okay, what is the average height and weight of the students of MSU, and therefore what is their BMI, so that we can decide as a university administration
सर
Sir, you are not audible.
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
I had lost my connection. Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
यस
sir.
Thank you, thank you.
यस सर।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, सो बस मैं अपनी स्क्रीन पे दिखा, मेरी स्क्रीन दिख रही है आपको?
No, sir.
तो सर
एक
नो
मिनट में
सर।
हाँ करता हूँ। वो एक्चुअली जब नेट चला जाता है तो पता नहीं कैसे वो स्क्रीन भी चली जाती है। अब दिख रही है स्क्रीन? कैन यू सी द स्क्रीन नाउ?
नो
No,
सर
sir.
नहीं दिख
नो
रही?
सर।
ओके,
No, sir.
हाँ एक मिनट। अब दिखी?
नो सर
अरे व्हाट इज
No,
No,
दिस?
sir.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, मिल गया, नो मिल गया। मैं फिर से शेयर करता हूँ। तो शेयरिंग दिखा रहा है इसमें, ओपन शेयर ट्रे, स्क्रीन शेयर। अभी दिखा?
No, sir.
नो सर
अरे व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम?
नहीं सर।
sir.
No, sir.
हाँ हाँ, क्यों झंझट है भाई ये? मेरे में तो शेयरिंग आ रहा है, क्यों आ रहा है? अभी भी नहीं दिखा?
नहीं
No,
सर।
sir.
नहीं दिखा सर।
अच्छा, मेरे में दिखता है क्यों ऐसा? ओपन शेयर
तो
मेरे में
नेटवर्क की वजह
एक
नेटवर्क
मिनट
इश्यू
है,
होगा।
मैं इसको मेरे में क्यों फिर दिख रहा है दिस यू आर शेयरिंग योर स्क्रीन? एनी प्रॉब्लम विद द नेट अगेन? अच्छा,
यस सर।
तो मैं फिर से कनेक्ट करता हूँ। आई हैव टू कनेक्शंस एंड व्हाई इट इज हैपनिंग आई डोंट नो। ओके, ज्वाइंड अगेन। हाँ, अभी दिख रही है आपको? अभी भी नहीं?
नहीं सर, स्क्रीन तो नहीं दिख रही।
आपने
हाँ,
शेयर की है।
रुको मैं शेयर, मैंने क्यों ऐसे स्टॉप शेयरिंग अगेन आई एम ज्वाइनिंग। ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम।
दिख रहा है sir.
यस सर, दिख रही है अभी।
हाँ, अब दिख रही है?
आ गई।
ओके, गुड
गई
गुड।
वापस।
चली गई सर।
वापस
सर
चली गई?
वापस नहीं दिख
वापस चली
अच्छा,
गई।
हाँ।
रुको रुको रुको, क्या मुसीबत है ये नेट का झंझट। और एक मिनट, ओपन शेयर ट्रे।
विजिबल है सर.
सर अब
यस सर,
Yes,
विजिबल।
sir.
हाँ सर, अब दिख रही है।
सर
अब
वापस से चली गई।
वापस चली गई सर।
ये क्या हो रहा है?
वापस
अच्छा,
चली गई।
हाँ 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 हाँ, समझ गया बेटा, एक मिनट। आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग। आई अब वापस?
आ
Yes,
गई
sir.
सर।
Yes,
यस
sir.
सर। यस
ओके
सर।
सर
ओके ओके ओके,
अब
थैंक यू। चलो कोई बात नहीं, 2 ही मिनट रह गया है, कोई नहीं, आई विल कंटिन्यू विद दिस एग्जांपल। सो एनीवेज, व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग, आई होप यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट, कि in all these measures there are some drawbacks associated. तो क्रैमर वी जो है, क्रैमर वी इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट रिकमेंडेड एंड वेरी what should I say, useful measure of association. Of course, this does not mean that the other measures of association are not used. They are also used, but Kramer V is most popular. It is for the nominal association that is used for a 2x2 contingency table. Why? Because its value lies between 0 to 1 and it is a symmetric measure. Symmetric measure means it, I'll explain. But first of all, what is how the formula is used? The formula of Cramer's V is square root of chi square upon mn. Now remember all the three formula. Whether it is coefficient of contingency, whether it is phi, whether it is V, it is all of these measures are based on chi square. And that is why it is called chi square based measures of association, our heading of last week. So chi-square, how you are going to calculate? I'll take one numerical example. Of course, may not be today. We'll take one numerical example to illustrate all these calculations. But this, how do you get chi-square, is the way we have. Again, I'll show you the calculation. N is the sample size, m into n. M is the minimum of the row minus 1 or column minus 1. It is generally used for 2 by 2, so that is of course 1 cross 1, so there is no problem. But if you want to go for more than 2 by 2, then row minus 1 column minus 1 का जो minimum होगा, that will be the value of m, right? So n is already known to you. M is a new feature or a new variable which we are going to introduce, and then we can find out the value of Cramer's V. And in that case, it will lie between 0 and 1, whether 2 by 2 or whether 3 by 3 or whether 5 by 5 or any higher order table also. Only comment is that Cramer's V tends to be lower than phi or C. Obviously, because we are dividing it by more numbers. See, how do you define phi? Phi is just chi square by n. That's it. C was chi square upon chi square plus n. So if you add something, it is not going to much differ much. But if you 3 plus 2 is 5, but 3 into 2 is 6. 4 plus 3 is 7, but 4 into 3 is 12. In that sense, the denominator becomes larger. And if the denominator is larger, this will be smaller. And in that sense, it is said that Cramer's V tends to be lower than phi or C. So, but then what will be your question in your mind? You can calculate any measure depending upon your problem, depending upon what is the order of the contingency table, because ultimately all of them are mainly based on chi-square. So the biggest message is that the chi-square is the measure of association. These are all the coefficients, right? Symmetric, just one line. Of course, my time is almost over. Doesn't matter, but I can explain this part. It does not matter which is independent, whether the column variable. That means, see, when we talk about the independence of two attributes, generally the column variable is supposed to be the independent variable. Column means, like, say, owning a phone. Anyone can happen. Anyone can own a phone, but gender is fixed. You are male to you are male. You are female to you are female. But symmetry here in this sense of Cramer's discussion is that doesn't matter what is your row variable and what is your column variable. So the whole issue is Cramer's V is generally more recommended. But again, don't forget that it is also based on chi-square. So just wait for a minute. Let me download my attendance. Why it is not downloading? Okay, so I have downloaded your attendance. Fine. Today we had some problem of the net and others also. We shall continue with one numerical example of the same unit tomorrow. But before I sign off for today, again I will repeat that please look at the chi-square table. All of you. Okay, so I am leaving the meeting. हाँ बोलो. हाँ.
Sir, I had a question.
हाँ please ask. Please. एक मिनट.
Sir, it's not about our studies.
हाँ.
It's not about our studies, but I want to ask you a question.
Okay, sure. Please go ahead.
Sir, a few days ago, I was talking to my cousins, and I told them that I have admitted in BSc Statistics group. So they told me that you will become a data scientist in future. So can you tell me what is exactly data scientist, or who can become a data scientist?
Very interesting question. Very good question. Now let me tell you one thing. First of all, it is very good that you have started your journey with the statistics. Now, data science or data scientist is a relatively new word. It has come in the last 1 decade, I can say. People in India are now using this word quite frequently, that data scientist, because you see, because of the computational techniques available now, and because of the power of the computers and the softwares, now you can handle very huge data, a very large amount of data. And not only that, you can use that data for the modeling purposes. So in that case, what happens is that we are using these statistical tools and techniques with the help of some computer-based algorithms. And in that case, we are, see, here also you are actually, in a way, you are analyzing the data only by finding out chi-square or correlation or anything. You are finding out some statistical measure. In data science, actually the idea here is that we are trying to explore the data more. So what do you mean by exploring the data more? Using the data, we try to model the situation. Now modeling, etc., and all these things, as I told you, will come in subsequent semesters. Maybe you will be studying in the 3rd year, not even in the 2nd year. So it is the role of a statistician only, because you are familiar with what is probability, what is correlation, what is regression. Later on, you will study so many other things of statistics. There are 6 papers in TY. In 1st year and 2nd year, you will study only 2 papers. But when you come to the TY level, you will be studying 6 papers. So we are exposing all these various statistical tools and techniques for the better understanding of data and data analysis. So how do you analyze the data in a proper manner so that you can draw some valid conclusion? One part, not only that you are going to draw only valid conclusion, we should use this analysis for future. Say a very simple example which people talk about. Suppose I want to predict the sales in the coming 6 months, how I can do that. So there is something like time series analysis that we will study in the third year. So it is very good that now, because everything is in public domain, and I hope all of you must have heard the word called artificial intelligence and machine learning. And let me tell you, whether it is AI ML or whether it is machine learning, it is basically regression analysis, which is in a very, very humble way your third unit in first year, first semester. So data scientists are basically statistics personnel with some computer knowledge. जैसे you told me that you have studied in 12th level C++, or somebody was telling one day that you have studied some Python also in the first year, or sorry, in the 12th level. So you have some programming knowledge also. So if you have a statistical background, as well as if you have some idea of coding and programming and some computer program knowledge, then you become a data scientist. But ultimately you are a statistician, because I tell you one thing, even if you are writing a computer program, whether it is Python or C++, you are writing a program for what? So you'll say, sir, I want to calculate the correlation. Now the thing which we are doing on calculator are now being performed by the softwares or even by MS Excel, right? But ultimately what is in the bottom line? You are doing some statistical analysis. For what? So statistics, if you look at the definition, dictionary meaning, it is the collection, summarization and conclusion of the data. So anything, everything starts with the data. You collect the data, then you analyze the data. That is what we are learning right now. And then you conclude something, right? So there are two words. Now I will ask one to all of you that please look at the word analysis and you look at the word analytics. Have you heard this word?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes. So what is the difference between analysis and analytics? All these things are related to the question what she asked. What is your name?
Uttara.
Chitra. Uttara. Sorry. Uttara.
Uttara.
Good. Uttara. So this is very good that you are asking this question at the very beginning of your career. This is, I tell you, in the times to come, when after 3 years you will come, 2 years after you will come to the graduation and then the post graduation, you will slowly and gradually you will come to know what is a data scientist, and lot of scope is there, and that's what I tell. I
Sir,
think, please.
sir, then it's necessary to learn coding too, right? While having statistics subject for data science.
It is not necessary. Let me tell you, in a way that because now because of the availability of various softwares, right? You must be knowing that how to use that software. Always it is not necessary, but when you come to the real life problem, and suppose you are modeling a complex situation for which there is no ready-made software available, or there is no ready-made program available. Say, I hope I have told you in your class only on one day that there are some well-known softwares. Say SPSS is very popular across the world. Now that has changed to some other name. Even today people call it a statistical package for social sciences. That is at least 30 years old, and its 26th version has come. So you did not know that how all these high level calculations are done, but you should know that how to interpret that output. Most of the times the trouble with many people, those who are not a statistician, is that they are using statistics using some software, so they don't need any coding or programming knowledge, but they once they use their data and they run it on a software, there is output generated, they are not able to interpret it because of they don't have any statistical training. Say for example, if you take today's lecture only, the value of chi-square is something. Now you don't know what is chi-square, you don't know what is testing. So okay, chi-square will be calculated even by using Excel also, but you will not be in a position to make out any sense. Okay, chi-square is 21.844 or something like that. That's it. But what does this mean? That is the role of scientist. What a particular situation means. What does it tell you? What the data tells you. Data is nothing but an information. how much information is contained in the data, and then how do you utilize that information which is contained in the data. You are extracting that information from the data, just like as I told you very beginning, descriptive statistics or the measures of central tendency. What are you doing? 45,000 students of MS University have an average height of 5 feet 7 inches. That is a statement. How did you get it? After analyzing a lot of data. But that was a simple thing. Everybody knows I can add and subtract or divide by something and I can get the value of x bar. Right? So whosoever told you, your cousins or your friends, or even now you are exposed to the whole world of knowledge thanks to this Google and thanks to this all these platforms of the information. It's good. Keep on searching. What is data scientist? What is the role of a data scientist? Who can become a data scientist? What are the requirements of a data scientist, right? And you will find anywhere, everywhere, one thing in common. You should have a strong base of statistics, and that will come only through the programs in statistics, which you are actually pursuing right now. So that is what my suggestion is. I always ask this question when it is offline or online, that have you chosen statistics by choice or by compulsion? सर मैं तो केमिस्ट्री में लेना चाहता था या लेना चाहती थी, मुझे तो एडमिशन ही नहीं मिला केमिस्ट्री में, या मैं तो इंजीनियर बनना चाहता था, मैं नहीं बन पाई इंजीनियर, तो मैंने बीएससी किया, बीएससी में भी स्टैटिस्टिक्स में तो आना ही नहीं था मुझे. दिस इज व्हाट एक्चुअली आई एम टेलिंग always to all my students. Even 5 years back, in fact I had launched a campaign and I had visited at least 15-20 schools of Baroda city. Why statistics? In that time, even at that time, 5 years back, data scientist word was not that much popular in the society. You should know the power of statistics. It's good that you are, I will say that you will realize my words maybe even after 3 years, 2 years only. Once you complete your TY, even after TY, there are so many job options. You can get a job, good job. But I suggest that always you should go for highest degree. It is too early to talk about MSc or post graduation, right? So it's very good. Data scientist has a lot of scope thanks to this data revolution. So many type of data is available. Big data, you must have heard the name, and all those things are there in the public domain. What to do with this data? See, suppose you have a data of Big Bazaar, for example, or a very big, say, Walmart or something like a very big shopping mall. What are you going to do with this data? So everybody is analyzing this data. I hope you have heard the word. I'm taking one or two more minutes. I don't know whether you have another lecture or not. I'll keep on telling. There is something like called MBA. MBA everybody knows, but I'm talking about another MBA, which is called Market Basket Analysis. So we are trying to study the pattern that as a consumer, if you are purchasing bread, are you going to purchase milk also? And if you are purchasing bread and milk, are you going to purchase tea or coffee also? It's a very real life situation. So I have to analyze that what are the chances that if a person is purchasing bread and milk, he will purchase coffee or tea. And if a person is purchasing all the four, whether he will be purchasing sugar also. So what are you talking? Data science only. Okay. So good, Uttara. We'll keep on discussing. Don't worry. Right? I hope.
Okay, science.
Yes. Thank
हाँ
you.
हाँ बोलो एग्जाम में किस तरह के क्वेश्चन?
सर हम कल इसमें डिस्कस करें क्योंकि हमारा लेक्चर स्टार्ट हो गया दूसरा.
हाँ, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि अब हम बाकी बात बाद में, क्योंकि 12:15 बज रहा है. मुझे चिंता नहीं, आई कैन कंटिन्यू, बट योर अदर लेक्चर शुड नॉट बी अफेक्ट.
यस सर, दैट इज व्हाई हम लीव कर दे सर.